We're on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. God, he keeps yelling at me today. I'm gonna go
What's
with
that
this.
yelling, Jesse?
I'm gonna go with this lucky one. Again, I don't even know what brand it is. And I'm not feeling very lucky today, but I'm gonna use it anyways because it's cool.
Why don't you feel lucky today?
It's kind of a blah day. Anyways, we are going to be explaining a little bit later in the show at some point. You will be, which we were supposed to talk about before the show, but we never got there. A contest that we're gonna have coming up next week. We're gonna test and see how wired you are into the Newswire.
Wow.
You excited?
Very excited.
Are you stoked?
Stoked!
All right. See? I mean, at least someone over here is happy.
When the camera's on, lights, camera, action, you go.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
am I supposed to do it? I thought you were doing it. Okay for you. I was getting all the other stuff put up.
when you hear the music,
you usually start talking.
Well, yeah, you usually, but you should be looking at the camera when when we're getting.
I'm gonna kill him today, Jesse. I'm gonna freaking kill him. This is what quarantine's doing. He wants me to comment on all these different platforms, but then he complains when I'm on my phone getting ready for the show or pulling up the platforms. The hell?
You just were looking for an excuse to do that.
It's this damn quarantine.
I got it. Yes, I got a feeling that isn't the last time I'm going to get hit by the
And if you'd like me to whack him while we're on today, just
by the
go ahead and write in and
whack-a-mole
let me know.
stick or whatever the hell that is.
Yep.
Whatever toilet paper roll jumbo toilet paper roll you stole that off.
No, it was from the aluminum foil thing. Since you
it
wanted
was the
tinfoil
aluminum
hats,
foil.
I ran out of tinfoil, but I gained a Roy beating stick, and I might actually decorate this because I have nothing else to do with my time during the day.
So, my bright idea of the tinfoil hats turned into, the residual effect of that is you found a beating stick to beat the living crap out of me with.
And it's glorious.
Oh, we're coming
the
in.
happiest I've been today. I'm just
On IE Newswire on a Fast
Friday.
Boy, you've been.
I'm telling you, this quarantine is like.
It is, and that's something to talk about because if this. They keep moving the date back from the end of April to March, April. I'm hearing that Pence was even going like July, August the other day, or hinting, or you're seeing droplets of that. Newsom was like, this is going to go on all through the summer. They keep everybody locked up like this.
I'm not going to make it.
Exactly.
I'm really not going to make it.
People are just.
And I say that with a smile, but I am like so freaking serious.
It is. I mean,
No way.
I want to give you two examples. And I know everybody's bad on geography, but you got Sweden and Austria over there in Europe. You know, right in and around Italy and Spain and all that area, and the greater European area. In that, where Italy were ground zero, and Britain, where there was supposed to be 500,000 died of coronavirus, and yada yada yada, which got downgraded to 20,000 by the famous Neil Ferguson study. But you have Sweden and Austria, which are fairly close together. Austria's put in all these, social distancing, yada, 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 boom, boom, boom. Sweden is basically drove by the whole thing. Well, yeah, you might want to take some precautions, cover your mouth, which is common sense, cover your mouth when you got a cough. You should be doing that anyway. But no mandates, no da-da-da-da-da. From the study I seen, the infection rate of death, everything is almost exactly the same in Sweden and Austria.
Okay.
So that circles me back into the example I put out, and what does not make any sense to me is as Birx and Fauci were saying the other day, well, we're basing all this, our projections on New York City, New Jersey, the 10 million people that are sitting in 5 square miles of dirt, which there is, you can't see the dirt because it's all paved over, but there is dirt underneath that 5 square miles. With about 10 million people in that area. Again, how does that compare to Enid, Oklahoma, Waterloo, Iowa, Golden, Colorado, Death Valley, California, Blythe? Let's see that, it doesn't. I mean, to equate what could happen there to the rest of the country, we keep getting these little nuggets of truth thrown out there. Have the Trump clip, Trump #1 clip ready, because you've heard about the masks, the mask up and down. Well, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Maybe wear a mask. Maybe it's good. Maybe it isn't.
See, then I go out and then I almost feel guilty because I'm not wearing a mask. But then it's like,
we are going to alleviate your fears.
I know, but
or
I'm
your
not
guilt.
always going to trust everything I hear. I'm torn on everything.
So
I don't know what to think.
when you
anymore.
got it ready, play. This is because you've heard one day it's masks are good, or you're hearing all this information. Da 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 da. The one thing that has
Well, I'm trying to not honestly pay attention to it much anymore because
Correct.
it's just freaking me out. But then everywhere I go, we're talking about it. Even on the damn show that I'm on, we're talking about it. I don't want to talk about it.
the one thing that they've said is the mask, most masks, except unless you're wearing those surgical ones, which you shouldn't be doing because our medical.
Save that for the professionals.
Yeah, the professionals
Please, they need it more
need
than
those.
we do.
But the only thing that that will do is prevent you from spreading it to somebody else. It's not going to prevent it from coming to you if it happens. So pray. This is the latest deal on because Fauci and stuff and the CDC are changing. Well, maybe they're kind of recommending masks and stuff. So play Trump clip #1 when you have it. This is what Trump is doing as regards to masks. And make sure Trump is a germaphobe. He never used to shake hands at all until he started running for president.
I still don't want to
The
believe
masks, it's going to
I
be
want to be open-minded.
really a voluntary thing. You can do it. You don't have to do it. I'm choosing not to do it, but some people may want to do it, and that's okay. It may be good. Probably will. They're making a recommendation. It's only a recommendation. It's voluntary. We're also taking action to
So there
ensure
you
the
go.
cost.
He's not wearing a mask. And this is a guy, like I said, up until he started running for president, I don't think he would not shake hands with anybody. I mean, Trump is like a 100% top of the line germaphobe.
Right.
So if Trump, who, pray tell, wouldn't shake hands up until very recently and still doesn't even like to do it, mainly because of the germ
Just do the elbow
transmission,
bump.
well, he's not wearing a mask.
I know, but I'm not going to base my decision on whether or not Trump's wearing one or not. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. And then I go back to, in a way, and I don't want to offend anyone or upset anyone if they have lost a loved one or have been really ill with this. I, in a way, want to catch it myself so that way I build immunity to it. I have not had it yet. I don't care what you say. But I don't know. But then I'm like terrified to get it because it's like, what if like I'm that rare case that ends up passing away and then I got to leave my kids and my family behind? That's why I would rather just, we need to make the show. No, next week I'm demanding, or I'm going to I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm demanding a fun day where we don't talk about coronavirus and we don't talk politics. It's just fun. I need fun.
Get somebody to call in on the show and want to talk fun because they don't.
Yeah, they do.
When?
People always want to talk fun.
When?
All the time.
Where's their comments on the comment line that we want
Okay.
to talk fun?
Comment in if you want to talk fun.
They don't.
Yes, they do all the time.
When you talk about coronavirus, they go, yeah.
No. See?
Of
Carla
the deal.
says hi, guys. Carla, do you want to hear fun or do you want to talk about coronavirus some more? Comment in. I'm not going to say which way I'm leaning.
We want to say this. David Worksman he was the second Riverside Sheriff's deputy to pass away from coronavirus. Yesterday, that was announced today. Sheriff Chad Bianca had the press conference. They had the procession that took him from the coroner's facility in Paris to a funeral home in Riverside today. So our deepest condolences to him and his family and everybody from the sheriff's department on that. But we have a caller on the line. No, I thought we had a caller. Oh, they were probably
They wanted to talk fun, and then he went serious. See, Carla writes in fun. Thank you, Carla.
well.
Damn, I love
call
her.
in,
And I don't even know her.
Call
I
in,
love you.
Call in, Carla, and talk about. I want to hear what fun stuff you want. You can take the
Anything.
conversation anywhere you want.
It doesn't
Call
have to
in.
be fun. I'm not saying let's talk about the best rides at Disneyland. Just talk about something other than coronavirus and politics for like 5 freaking minutes. It's bringing people down. We need happy. Nobody's going to come up in the world if we're always talking about all the negative crap.
Well, I try to put it. I mean, that's what I'm asking: is what is the deal behind putting all this stuff on the people when they're, you can take it one way or the other. I mean, there's plenty. You can argue it one way or the other of that. But I mean, there's been plenty of evidence that I've seen that this is not the biggest thing that's ever going to it's not going to kill. I don't believe anybody believes it's going to kill 2 million people in the United States. Or
A lot of people do. A ton of people do. Half the world freaking does. More than half the world. You know how many people are scared and terrified to even go outside and get
I hope we
coffee?
got a fun caller coming in. So who's on the line?
I want to talk about race cars.
There you go.
That's better. No, thank you, Pop, because that is better than this Corona crap and politics. I'm gonna
Well, did you
freaking
hear
lose my mind.
that Texas Motor Speedway is going to be no more?
What?
Really?
They're going to tear it down just like Riverside Raceway and going to put in a housing project.
Are you talking not the new?
Great,
Are
here we
you
go.
talking
Thanks,
about
Bob.
the Texas World Speedway, the old one, not the newest one that's in Dallas, Texas?
I don't know which one it is. I just caught.
I think I would doubt they're tearing down Texas Speedway in Dallas. I think remember the old
other
track
one, I
that was
think.
back in the 70s at
Yeah,
Texas World Speedway or whatever, and that's been there for a lot of time. I would seriously doubt that they're tearing down the new one in the Dallas.
wherever they ran NASCAR, but I don't know which.
Well, remember they did back in the 70s.
70s. Okay, well, whichever one they're going to tear down.
It was in College Station, Texas. Now that it was Texas World Speedway. They ran through the 70s, and then it kind of went broke in the 80s or whatever. They quit, but the track remained there for, I guess, up until this time. Some people tried to run it, but I don't. I'm going to check that. I'm going to check
looking
that
right
out
now.
because yes,
I don't. Yeah, well, anyway, one of them's shutting down. Well, like I say, they'll keep doing that all the time. One thing about Fontana, they don't want to tear that one down because it's covering up all that.
yes, because you're having all the toxic
all that
waste
junk
and
underneath
stuff.
there.
It really is a
Texas
toxic
World
waste.
Speedway?
Huh?
Texas World Speedway?
Yeah, that's the one. College Station, Texas.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Will
the old
close
one.
Mid-June.
Yes.
To make way for
They've been using it like as a club, like a cow club, or like just a local deal.
Racetrack,
yeah,
whatever it
for
was.
that. I was going to say I don't think they're closing down Texas Speedway in Dallas Fort Worth.
No, the other one, whichever one they used to run, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, that one's getting tore down, and it goes on and on. But like I say, Fontana will be there forever. It won't happen like Ontario. Ontario had 10-year lifespan. And died.
Yeah, 70 to 80.
Yep, because and that was a real nice racetrack.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I was telling GFB over here when we were at Fontana.
That was a good one. I'm sorry. There,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
Sorry, I'm beating your son.
Ontario.
He deserves a thumb.
Ontario Motor Speedway, built in opened in 1970. I mean, was like a show palace. I mean, they had individual stadium seats. They were the first. They had suites and all that stuff up there long before everybody else did. It was one of those things that was just way ahead of its time.
Yeah, when I had the garage, when I had my car there, you had your own individual garage with a door and everything.
Yeah.
Each guy had a great big double-car garage in each stall, and it was your own private garage, not like when you walk like Fontana where, like Riverside, everybody's side by side by side by side. No, it was a ultimate place, man. What a fancy place.
It was. I mean, it was a deal. Yeah, like you went in the garage area, and, all the cars are just lined up there, all open. Ontario Motor Speedway had your own individual garage. I mean, you had 4 walls around you. You had your own individual garage, like a 2-car garage that you drove, that everybody parked their cars in. on that. No, it was like it had a golf course to it and the whole
Oh,
9 yards. I mean, I mean, most people that ain't been around have never saw the place.
You remember what was all around it?
Yeah, grape fields.
That's right. It was in the middle of a grape mile.
Yes.
Miles
Yeah,
of grapes.
remember driving through there into the place, and that's where you drove through when you drove through, like a couple miles of grape fields all around the place of all in through there. I mean, from there, in between that and Ontario Airport was just all grape fields.
Yeah, well, like I say, same thing when I worked at Riverside, when I worked on all them different movies and stuff that we worked on. And I tell everybody, Ronald Reagan, they say, he was shot really, but back in that movie called Killers, he was, I don't remember what he was in the gangs and stuff. Well, they shot him in the movies because that was shot. But anybody gets to see that movie and they shoot out at Riverside Raceway looking towards Box Springs Mountain, you know what you see out there?
What?
Nothing. Because there ain't nothing there. There ain't no houses. You see the mountain. That was it. And wheat fields. That was about what was up there. And nothing. That's what I tell everybody. You want to see what it looked like around here? Go if you ever get to see that movie. I don't remember when was that made. That was made about 62, 64.
What movie was it?
Killers.
I'll have to post a picture. I got it about it is even up in, I think it was 72 or 73. One of the guys that was flying, I think he was flying one of the KC tankers, and he took an aerial shot of the area.
Yeah, that was nice,
covered most of Moreno Valley back in 1972, and like you say, it's like, I mean, vast majority of this 56 square miles was dirt.
Yeah. Well, that picture we got of the racetrack back when the Cow Club was first there, and it shoots from shooting south from turn 1 towards Edgemont, and you can see what's all sparse out there. That big iron photograph we have. You can see that there. But yeah, Riverside was out in the middle of nowhere. Everybody, we drove a long ways to get out here. I mean, downtown Riverside stopped at Chicago Street. There was nothing out there but orange groves. After you got past Chicago, there was a few businesses and orange groves all the way out to where the freeway's built now. But, yep, it was a lot different. That's what I like to tell everybody. Things changed since the 70s here. To nobody, to everybody. But, yeah, Ontario, like I say, that was a good racetrack. Well, and like I say, Fontana's a nice one, I think. That's really nice.
Yes,
too.
it is. It's a nice facility out there and on that. But yeah, and hopefully we'll get to like in Paris, Orange Show Speedway, Irwindale, and all the tracks, and Paris Speedway, the Speedway track, the Grand will be opening back up sometime, before we all croak on this whole deal on this. And I mean, the way they're going at this stuff, it might be sooner than later. But I mean, again, like I say, I mean, what do you? I mean, have you been hearing from your travel circles? I mean, are people in your travel circles going stir crazy?
No. But anyway, talking about another track that it still might die, but Orange Show was supposed to be demoed in housing and everything, or whatever was going to be there. But during that crisis when we lost the economy during Obama, they gave up on that. But that was supposed to all been tore down too. But it might still be. It might.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I'm afraid of. Not only the racetracks, but we're going to lose a lot of stuff if we don't start turning the stuff around here pretty quick.
Yeah, because you can't just leave this stuff sitting around.
All this stuff costs money to run, or it still keeps going. The track operators, the small business people. The rent's still due. They got bills to pay and everything else. And if they got no money coming in, you can only take that so far.
Right.
But a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, a month at the outside. Maybe, but if they're talking about 2 or 3 or 4 months on this stuff, not only that, I mean, that's what worries me about this whole thing is guys like that. Not only that, just everybody just being in a big pickle over this thing.
Another thing is another racetrack that was that ain't there no more. Back when I was very young, was the dirt track right there where Highway 60 now goes right through there, right by Fairmount Park. There was
The ends of
old dirt
Speedway.
track there. Yeah, it's gone, But when I was a kid,
57, I think, was 57 or 58.
yeah, somewhere in there, about late 50s when that died.
Yeah, when that one.
I remember going and seeing like Valley Inglehoff racing there, and like I say, all the old guys, that were there that raced, and I can't think of all their names, but there was a lot of midgets raced there and everything. But the freeway goes right through where the racetrack was.
Yep.
So, but because they took half of Fairmount Park and right through the middle of it. That was where you get by the Santa Ana River was the golf course. The little bit of golf course you see off to one side was clear way over, a long ways, where the freeway is now. So that goes to show how many racetracks went away.
There you go. Well, you got about 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll just let you know about it. You said you want to change your subject.
Well,
so
there you go.
So you got fun things to talk about. That was fun things for me when I was a kid. Okay, let you go.
See, it takes Bleckert 2 and 3 to change the subject.
Yeah.
Where's everybody else talking about the fun?
They don't want to talk to you.
So
We had a lot of people vote. One person wrote in and said we were close to fun.
We're close to fun. Well, tune
No,
us
that's
in.
cool. I like hearing the history, though.
We're gonna have
That's
Mason
really cool.
Weaver coming on when we tune into KMET on the bottom hour. I think it's been a couple weeks since we've had him on, and that we'll get his take on all this stuff.
Who?
And maybe he'll have some.
Mason Weaver?
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe he'll have
that's cool.
something fun to say.
I'm not saying. I'm just tired of talking about serious crap.
Well, we didn't talk about serious crap. And I noticed how you chimed in on that.
On what? Brandon writes in, who's Roy's new co-host? Wow.
I guess Brandon fired you.
I guess. Whatever.
I don't think you'd quit, because then you couldn't use your beating stick on me to get out
I
your
still know where you live.
get out your aggressions.
I don't need to
Is
be
that
on
what
this
you
show.
call fun? Is thumping me with the stick?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's really fun. It's just like rewarding. I think. Oh, you want me to use that one? That one's no. That,
Oh, you
I'll
want to
hurt
use the
him.
engineer scale, or is that the architect scale?
That's architect. That would actually be painful. I mean, this doesn't really hurt, Does that hurt? You should probably stop doing that. Your mom's watching.
I notice how
It
you.
does hurt a little
I
bit.
know. I notice how you just tap 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 on you, and when yes, yeah, I get the crack on all that stuff. No,
Anyone that wants me to beat him, go ahead and write in, and I'll give him a whack.
well,
And then I'll even put your name on it too, so that way it's like.
no,
you kinda
I
did
mean,
it
I can see the
yourself.
architect scale is going to be coming out here pretty soon. If
Well,
that
he's
starts.
gonna bring it in.
Yes.
Even he wants to get in on this.
Yes.
It's like you're a pinata.
Oh,
That's
see,
great.
see, we're having fun on a Friday, on a fast Friday, on a fun fast.
No,
Friday.
we were supposed to say Fun Friday, and you took that away, like everything else.
fun fast Friday.
I do want to talk about a little bit of those chili gift cards that we're going to be giving away next week. We're starting next week.
We'll talk a little bit about it.
Are we announcing what
yeah.
day? So those of you that are watching on Facebook right now, if you have not already subscribed or clicked that following button on YouTube, you might want to do that, because we are going to do start a little trivia game next week. How wired are you with Newswire? And we're going to be asking some pretty random questions to win yourself a $5 Chili's gift card.
There you go. So
I'm
you
pretty
can.
stoked.
We're going to do a little bit to help out the small businesses around, and it's great for Chili's to
It is.
donate the gift cards to
Yeah.
give out to you guys for
Thanks,
doing that. 'cause-
Chili's.
yeah, I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought just driving and getting takeout food would be like something that you would really look for? I mean, be like your big adventure.
Me,
of the
when
day.
I was at Stater Brothers yesterday, me and the bagger guy was like, I went to a store I've never shopped at just to do something different. He's like, and that's what I'm doing different, is shopping at a different grocery store. I said, next week I'll probably drive to a different city to go shopping.
Well, there you go.
I know. I drove all the way out to Riverside yesterday to go to Casamoda to support that business.
Cool.
They have amazing tacos. They're great. I suggest you guys all go out there.
Hit the Costamotos. Where are they at?
You know, and I had their flyer, and I totally forgot to put it out. They're open 7 days a week. And they are located off of, we went through this before, Arlington and Magnolia. Did I say it right? Remember that conversation we had? Their address isn't on here, so I can't put it. But you can go to www.casamoda.com and check out their menu. Delish. Yes, I've been going there since I was a little girl. She's like, oh, I remember you. She was super sweet. Off of Arlington. It was Arlington. What did I say? Alessandro?
Yes, you said no, before you said you were all surefire that it was at the intersection of Alessandro and Arlington, and there is. I think you lost a bet on that.
I did. I was supposed to buy tacos, but I skipped and I went yesterday and I got my dad chips and salsa instead. Thank you for the ding.
You didn't give him a taco?
Well, he didn't want a taco, and I was going to order you some, but I'm like, you know what? If I get it now, it's going to be totally spoiled. So, like, we should just plan a day that we can all go together, and, like, you can totally pay for it. You know what I mean? Anyways. But, yeah, I owe you tacos from there. I'll direct you on how to get there. It's probably not a good idea. But anyways, yes, go support your small businesses.
All of them.
Thank you, Chili's, for giving us the gift cards because that was awesome. And I look forward to passing them out to our followers and listeners and viewers. And make sure that you tune in to KMT 1490 AM at 5:30, between 5:30 and like 5:45, because we'll be giving them away on that too.
Yes.
So tell your friends and family.
Tell your
If
friends
they
and
don't have
family,
Facebook.
neighbors, and line up because we'll be starting that next week. We'll do that.
Two chances to win.
2 chances to win.
2.
Wow.
But
So
you can only win once every 2 weeks.
only win once every 2 weeks. So
Yep.
yeah, you can't win 47
We'll go over
of
the
them in a row.
disclaimer. And sorry, Lucy, and anyone related to me, Mom, you guys can't win.
There you go.
Just
You're
go
going to
ahead
have to
and
fend
throw
for
that out
yourself.
Yep. I tried. And I failed. What?
Did you try?
No, not really.
Oh.
But, oh well. I'll tell them that, okay?
So what other fun things would you like to talk about?
Did you see my rap video on Facebook? It was hilarious, but we can't play it because it has a couple
Yes,
bad words.
the language is a little.
But it was so funny.
Yes, the rat video is absolutely.
And it had a
hilarious.
sports commentary on it. I loved
Yes.
it. It was great.
The
didn't see
the
The two mice fighting over the cheese.
Who was commenting?
It was, I don't know.
some
sports
sportscaster, yeah. That's what a lot of sportscasters are doing. That you send them in stuff and they narrate on it and put it out on YouTube.
Try to make it look like it's like a little
Yeah.
sports video because we miss our sports. We can pretend like we're watching a football game right now and just say like the Rams are winning. I don't know how to really sports commentary though, but like Dolphins are totally losing. The
Wow.
quarterback intercepts the ball. I like
It's a quarterback.
10. I don't know. Does that even happen? Does that happen?
I
No?
don't know. The quarterback is the one that throws the
Oh
ball.
crap. Well, you know what? See, this is why I'm not in sports.
And that
Really?
is a good thing.
Oh. All right. Well, the Rams won.
The
Dolphins suck, so of course they lost.
I will give you a little bit. It's the cornerback. The cornerback is the one that
Oh,
usually does it.
defense.
He's on the defensive side that it covers the wide receiver that would be done. So I mean, I'm not going to fault you too much on that because I mean, it did have back in it. The
It
guy
did.
that usually does the
Because he intercepts it, and then he from the Dolphins were going to get a touchdown. Quarterback on the Rams intercepts it, runs it to the 10 line thing or something. I don't know. Someone with a 10 on it. Then they throw it. They get a touchdown. Rams win. The crowd goes wild. Neither did the Dolphins. That's why they haven't been.
Well, yeah, they
well,
win
like
more than the
ever.
Dolphins did. Well, like the Dolphins were like the world's
Who are
worst.
they? Where are they from?
Texas, I think.
Oh, see, this is like the best show ever. Okay. Anyways,
Maybe Iowa. Maybe the Iowa Dolphins. That would make a lot of sense.
I don't know. Are they even a team anymore?
No, they've canceled every sporting event. It was really weird though. I get
Oh my gosh.
in some places they're canceling. People are ignoring the golf courses.
Brandon
but
wants to call in.
in
What's our number again? 242?
What?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. can't squeeze you in.
Well, they can go. Hang on. We'll figure this out on that. We're going to be joining KMET on that. 1490 on that. Here in about a minute or two. Coming up while we're cracking up on that.
Oh, that was great.
Of all the.
I love it.
Of all the things that are going on in the world.
Hey, Sean.
Of that.
Hey guys.
Did you hear the Rams won?
1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah. Did you hear the
Rams
play-by-play that?
It works.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it was so totally absurd that it was funny. Oh, I even got a snort
No,
out
you
of
didn't.
that
I'm
one.
laughing at myself at this point. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. World, open back up.
Of the that was
30 seconds. I did not
What
hear
are we
it,
talking
so.
about?
No, you got to go back and listen to that because it was absolutely hilarious. That's what I say. It was so totally opposite
You guys, here we go.
of anything that was going. It was
1490am.com and download your free phone app today. IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio stations.
That's that funky slide guitar music that welcomes in the day, the end
On
of the
a
week. On a
Fun.
Friday.
Friday. You ditched me on it. Well, then we wanted to go. I don't know. Is it even Friday anymore?
Well, people are gonna. Well, I can see that this whole thing has just got everybody twisted up in
It
knots.
really does.
They can't.
gosh.
They don't even can't even comprehend what's going on this stuff. We had fun on the first half hour of doing that. Hopefully we're going to hook up here with Mason Weaver here in a couple of minutes on that. Those of you, Brandon or whoever wants to call in, we'll take some calls with that. You can call in. We'll wake Sean up over there. Call in on 951-922-3532. You can give us a ring, chat about whatever. We'll see what Mason Weaver's got to say about that. Like I say, take it
Say
again.
that number again, just in case they didn't hear you.
951-922-3532. You can wake up Sean over there over at KMET. He'll put you on the air going on. We'll see if
Sean, wake up.
we can light some callers up on in this fast, fun, freaky, frolicky, doing all the stuff
Weird
on Friday.
Football Friday.
Yeah, we did. We had
The Rams won.
You too. You need to
Dolphins
go
got
to
smoked.
Yes, you need to go to IE. We ought to make. You know what you ought to do is we need to make a clip of that. We need to make a clip of your
I'll clip it.
of your football commentary.
I think it was great. I think.
it was.
I'm gonna go into sports.
It was so absurd. It was laughingly funny.
Before we bring in our guests, I wanted to tell our listeners about the $5 gift cards that we're going to be
Tell them
giving
about
away.
the $5 gift cards.
You're screwing me up, man. Next week,
Wow.
How wired are you on iNewswire? We're going to be doing a little bit of trivia. So those of you that might be listening in the car or at home on your radio, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and follow it because I will be asking some questions off there too, maybe. And pay attention to our posts and things going on because you never know what I'm going to ask.
Wow.
To win your chance to win a $5 Chili's gift card. And thank you to Chili's for the gift cards.
Yes, we'll be rolling that out next week. We have plenty of gift cards to give out for everybody you want because we really need to support our local businesses going on these, let's say, very unusual times. We had a very privilege here to close out the week on that. And maybe we'll kick around and do some fun stuff with him, too. He's a author of many books. One of his probably most favorite one is Leave the Plantation, but my favorite one is The 7 Principles of Success because if you live by them, you will be a success.
I love that book.
Yes, and as you're doing that, since a lot of you are sitting at home, that would be a good one to read right now. That'll set you up to take advantage when we do come roaring back and booming back with this successful economy that was will be again as we doing it, and we're going to do it with the help of guys like our next guest coming on. That Mason Weaver, welcome back to the show with Stephanie and Roy.
Thank you, sir. I miss you guys very much.
We miss you more.
I know you got the sitting 10 feet apart to obey your governor, so I know that's all taken care of.
He's not sitting far enough away.
Of that, what? Before we and we'll do some fun stuff too, but we haven't had you on in a while. Just what's your overall take on this whole coronavirus thing?
Hoax. It's the flu. People, you have more of a chance to die in a car accident going home than someone next to you killing with the flu. This is just a hoax, and the president has to go along with it because it's a stampede. You see, when it's a stampede, even the sheep that know there's no lion there still has to run, because if not, you get run over by a stampede. So Trump is surfing through this, but it seems obvious every day now. If you compare the loss of life and those affected with the common flu, or falling down the steps, or getting maced and we were upset with you, the death rate is a lot lower. For everything else, this is a very mild case of the flu. It's strange that we're so willing to give up our freedom, with the evidence is right in front of us. But we destroyed a $2 trillion economy to fight the flu.
It is amazing, and I don't know if did you catch the Trump press conference today?
I saw part of it.
Did you see the part about the mask where he said, well, it's a recommendation. They've been going back and forth, but I'm not wearing them. It's like he went with the we're going to open the country back up to Easter, and then, he comes back on Friday, and then Monday we're backtracking and all. I mean, I just kind of get like those subliminal signals of what you're saying is, leads more in the direction of where you're saying, and Trump's he's kind of trying to let us know what's going on, kind of like saying without saying.
It's pretty clear that he understands what's happening. There's no way he could stop it, because it's like I said, it's a tidal wave. You can't stop a tidal wave. It's really strange that if you consider the changes of their own words to us. At first they said that the mask was only good if you had it. It was only good to keep you from spreading it. But if you don't have it, the mask will not keep you from getting it. And now they're saying they want all of us to wear a mask all the time. And I thought that there was a law against wearing a mask in public. I thought people could rob a bank or something.
Yeah, it used to be the case. You get some strange looks if you were running around with a bandana across your face.
Yep. And I have accurate information that the Bloods and the Crips are not socially distancing.
Of that. No, I mean, it is some of the stuff on that. But, you're out probably like smack dab, like in the middle of the country.
Yep.
Stuff like that. How is it really, let's say let's start with this. How has it affected or changed your routine life in any significant way?
Only because nothing is open. But when I moved here to socially distance myself. So I am already in the country. I'm in the middle of nowhere. We have 11 species of animals on my property that are edible. I have a pond full of fish. But I'm right in the middle of two Walmarts. 8.5 miles from one, 8 miles from the other. The one in Festus, Missouri, is right along Highway 55, the major freeway from north to south. And they can't keep anything in stock. They have to shut down. It's just a 24-hour Walmart for this happen. Now they got to sit down at midnight and open up at 6 o'clock in the morning and let the old folks in first so they can buy the bread and toilet paper first.
Right.
The other one in the small town, the other direction, is always full. No matter when you go in there, it's always full. And all of the ingredients are there, all the supplies are there. So I began to think, why is the other store empty and the same store down the street is full? Because the one in Festus, Missouri, crosses a major freeway, and folks are coming from miles and miles around to buy that stuff in poor panic. And in a small town, only the locals are going, and there's always enough bread, there's enough milk, toilet paper's handy. It's that somebody will go into a store and buy toilet paper for a month when they normally buy it for the week. That keeps the supplies normal. But right now, all the farms are farming, all the factories are making toilet paper and hand washers. It's all available, but we are panicking, and they have us so scared. All they have to do is announce the death is over 100,000. I'm sorry, not the death, but those who contracted is over 100,000 people. And I'm saying, but we're 320 million. In China, it just turned to be 200,000 and caught it. If you don't believe them, double it, 400,000. They got 2.9 billion. Folks, a billion is a million. You got two of those with 200,000 people that have caught it. If you think this is fake, then let's say 500,000. Let's say a million. It's still a paltry amount of people affected by this.
And that's my case. Okay, New York City, New Jersey area, there's about 10 million people in about a 5 square mile area. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Again, in these areas, in these hot spots, well, yeah, okay, there might be concern for that or all this stuff. Guys sitting out in the middle of Missouri, like you say, where you got to drive. You can't, you got to drive to a significant distance to find your next neighbor. Is in a totally different situation of that of getting this. So applying the model of New York City to that, to someone sitting out in the, lack of a better term, in the middle of nowhere, makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, it's a perfect term. I moved to the middle of nowhere. I had two choices. I could live in the jungle or live in the boonies, and I prefer to live in the boonies. That's my choice. I don't like folks. I don't like hearing people argue and car door slamming. I cannot see my neighbor. If I see my neighbor, he's trespassing. And we all move out here for the same reason. We love our privacy. So my neighbors they mind their own business. We wave at each other, but they mind their own business. And the kids can go out there and play and act crazy and make a lot of noise. And I worry about people walking up on them. And I can guard my two beautiful granddaughters from all these creatures called men and boys that are out here.
Yeah.
I need to go where he's at.
Again, that's what I've said. I mean, I've said what you're talking about, and why I've never been an apartment dweller, trailer park, high density, and I've always measured my dwellings, businesses in acres, not square footage or square inches, because people were not meant to be crammed in together. You can spend, people have studied this till, the cows come home. And the socioeconomic effects of this, I mean, you're kind of seeing, this is probably one of the first examples of seeing how this stuff can really go haywire on what's going on. And like you said, what concerns me is the point you brought up is how quickly or how easily, maybe a better term, the people are willing to give up their freedoms or stuff for this kind of stuff.
And I'm telling you, man, people are beginning to speak to each other about this. I was in Walmart and someone said to me, "Isn't this crazy? Isn't this crazy?" And I said, "It's the flu." And the guy said, "Yeah, it's the flu." And women go and take my cart out to the car. Is this crazy or what? I said, "Yes, it's crazy." But if you think it's crazy, why are you whispering? I have a question. What gives the governor the authority on his own to declare I cannot go to church? How are you going to fine me for having a church meeting? There's only two businesses mentioned in the Constitution: the press and the church. So how can a governor on his own take on his own the order to order me not to come out of my home? This is not martial law. You have to pass a bill. It's called martial law or something. I haven't committed a crime. I'm not under house arrest. So why are you going to arrest me and fine me? Why are you going to fine my doctor? When did you start fining a doctor for prescribing a drug to me? A drug has already gone through clinical trials. A drug has already gone through all analysis that's been used for years, to given to humans for years. How can the governor decide I'm going to take away this doctor's license for prescribing a legally available drug? We have lost our minds.
We have. I mean, and we've talked about it a lot, with various guests and stuff like that. California, New York, a lot of these places are kind of ground zero for this high density. They're trying to get you out of your cars, put you in a cubicle apartment, mass transit, bicycle, yada, yada, yada. And like a lot of us, I'm sure you probably agree, that's really taking away your freedom ability
Absolutely.
to do that's meant to control you. Like I said, I got a very eerie feeling that day when that plane coming in from Wuhan, China to Ontario, California got diverted to March Air Reserve Base. I just had an uneasy feeling about what was going on, and it just gets. I just wake up every day. It seems like I get more concerned about overall what's going on.
Well, we have allowed the government to rule us instead of us ruling the government. You cannot trust them. And that's why everyone's so skeptical, so cynical. We know we cannot trust them. We know that they will destroy the world. These people have shut down the world to keep their power. They've allowed people to die and lose their jobs and lose their businesses to keep their power. They are diabolical and they're dangerous. I'm hoping that after it's over, there is a true study on what happened, who lied, because they're backtracking on the numbers, they're backtracking on the cases. I've gone to the VA hospital, and I had to have the roads were blocked, like they were waiting for a crime. And I had to have some people look like they were from Mars, all covered up with all this medical stuff. They had a tent over the road going to the VA hospital where you have to go to the tent, and they stopped you, and they swabbed your forehead for your temperature before you go to the VA hospital. I said, who are you? Do you work here? No name tag, no badges. They're just going to stop and swab you. I said, where have your swab been? I went to the FedEx store where I walked up. No one was in the store when I walked up to the counter. But behind me, people came in, and they had to stand 6 feet with a tape behind me. But behind them, there was no tape. So I got ready to leave. I turned around. There was 8 people in line, 1 foot apart. But the cashier had that 6-foot barrier. So they don't care about you catching it as long as they don't catch it. At Walmart, you walk around Walmart and you shop. There's the restrictions on how far they beat from each other until you check out. What's the difference? I heard today that it's in the air for hours now. So why do I have to wear a mask? Why do I have to stand 10 feet apart? If it's in the air for hours, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like most things, it doesn't make sense if you think about it. That's our problem. No one is thinking about it.
Ever increasingly, I think don't quote me on it, but I think it's pretty close. I think 2/3 of our population lives within 50 miles of each coast, and this is what concerns me. 98.7%, probably even more than that, of the country, only a third of the population is living out in the vast fruited plains of that. And again, it just concerns me that what's going on with this. And I've been taking a lot of heat over this whole enchilada for standing up with this. And what's been amazing to me is a lot of people that were standing up and, freedom, Constitution, how quickly they have turned, which is one thing that's concerned. I don't know if you're seeing it, but I'm seeing a lot of that.
I am. The same thing I saw when Trump first ran. How you lose a lot of friends. They believe the hype. Trump is crazy. Trump is mean. Trump won't be elected. We've got to get some of these politicians in, like Cruz and all that.
Right.
I'm seeing the same thing now. They're coming out. They're defending their beliefs. Because once you have a belief system, you cannot tolerate anyone going against it. And that's what they're having us self-regulating now. You're staying too close to me. You can't. You're going to violate my air. You're going to. Where's your mask? They want us to self-regulate. Folks, I have an opinion. I'm an adult. And like every adult, I have an opinion on everything. Everything. And my opinion is going to guide my life, not your opinion. And we have to stop trying to mandate that all of us think and believe alike. I have a healthy skepticism for labels. Because you have a label of judge, a label of cop, a label of doctor, does not mean your moral standard is high. It means that you have a vested interest in your profession, your income, and your power. And I'm not going to allow your title to dictate what I do under my title, called husband, called father and grandfather. I take care of that.
That's the way it should be. And I'm ever increasingly seeing that shrinking away for a lot of reasons. And not that I expected you to see the same thing even where you're at. And that's what, again, I just get this whole thing over the past couple months has just given me a sinking feeling, because you're exactly right. This is what doesn't make sense to me. Well, we're self-quarantined and masks and all this stuff. We're going to bend the curve, but every expert I've heard from Fauci on down says we're not going to. The total amount of cases are going to be what they're going to be, and we're not doing that. We're just bending the curve. Well, the only place that I can see, the way I'm looking at it, is maybe in these densely populated areas where it can spread fairly quickly for a lot of reasons. New York City, Metro LA area, Seattle, wherever. Yeah, but that's a whole different animal, like you say, from where you're out in the middle of Missouri.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I have noticed something, though. It's called herd immunity.
Yes.
Where the herd cures itself. There's a lot of people who have the symptoms who catch this and not diagnosed, they have no symptoms, but they're still walking around. In Great Britain, they estimated 2.5 million people there have contracted it with no symptoms. So why aren't people dying? Why aren't they dying? Because the herd will cure itself. The herd will expose, and the weak will die. This is why the weak are the ones that the lions catch, because the herd has to eliminate the old and the weak. I think that we're going to find this thing has been here for a long time, and most of us are immune to it. I bet you if they start screening for this virus, they're going to find that most Americans have been exposed to it many years. We have think about it. The common cold tries to kill you. The cold wants to eat you alive. So why don't we die from the common cold? There is no cure for the common cold, but we get cured because our body has the cure for the common cold. Because we had it so long, we become immune to its effects. So in 2 or 3 days, our body eliminates the common cold. But scientists cannot even find a cure for it.
Yes, and again, that's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff. We've had Dr. Kelly Victory on a few times during this thing, and she said a lot of these same things. And I mean, she's a trauma surgeon, disaster preparedness expert, consultant to many large companies like Walgreens and stuff like that. And she doesn't get this whole thing either, And again, not to discount that there isn't a problem in these certain areas, but you don't apply that if you make the assumption or apply that model across somewhere that's totally different. Well, you're gonna cause a heck of a lot more damage than what it is. It's kind of like the old deal of does the cure kill the patient? And that's what.
Yeah, well, it does. Think about it. You're going to keep yourself in your own environment. Most of the deaths in Seattle came from one nursing home.
Yes.
So you're going to put people together in a nursing home and let them talk to their family through the window. Okay, but that's the problem. If you want to cure this, ban nursing homes.
Yeah.
It's really a part of us trying to think. Most of us have gone through public school, so we don't know how to think. But it seems to me that this problem is taken care of by the human body more than anything else we can do. And now you got a cure. You got a combination of drugs that has cured this thing at a high rate.
Yes.
And we don't want to use it. The doctor usually mentioned guy. What's his name? Fauci? I call him President Trump's lead disease control guy.
Fauci.
Yeah, he came out and said that we can't try these drugs yet because we have to have clinical trials. That makes no sense to me because the drugs are already being used for malaria. So they're already being given to humans. They've already been tried, and trials have already been conducted. Because it hasn't been conducted on given to them for this disease, the medication doesn't know why it's been injected into the body. The medication just knows it's in the body. So if there was any danger, you would have seen those dangers with malaria patients. These drugs are safe. They've already been clinically trialed. Why can't we have them now? And I think the FDA is beginning to realize that they're giving out hints that they're going to actually approve this thing early so we can get these things out to people. The game is over. As Trump said, this is a game changer, and it seems to work on everyone it's tried on in 2 or 3 days.
Two little factoids I'll give you. The 24 up in Seattle that kind of touched this off. The 24 that were in the nursing home, that was also a hospice home. All 24 were in the hospice of that. Second thing is, or I think it was Dr. Birx said this thing started in Seattle and L.A., and we knew it was in New York in December and January. That goes to the contention I've had when I had that cough that wouldn't go away in January. I'm telling you, I had it. You had it. My dad had it. Everything back in. We are starting to build the immunity. That's why the curve is not going up, in my opinion, and I'm no medical expert.
You're jinxing it.
Why the curve is not going up in Washington and California, because even though we got 2 dense population centers, we're not as dense as New York City, New Jersey area or the LA area where it's starting to be a problem. But that's my take on it. We'll pick this up later on. We're about out of time, so I'll give you about a minute to wrap it up and tell them since people got a lot of time to read, now's a good time to get Mason Weaver's books.
I think you're absolutely correct. It's a brilliant plan. My website is Leave the Plantation. I have 9 books out there for your enjoyment on different topics: spiritual, economical, cultural, and political. And I need your help. I need your support, because all my income now comes from online, because the government will not let me go out in public and say the truth. So join us on leavetheplantation.org. I appreciate it, buddy.
You got it.
Bye,
Pleasure
Mason.
having you on. We'll do
Appreciate
it again.
I love your book, by the way.
Bye-bye.
There you go. We got
Sorry, Brandon, it's a good book.
Yeah, it is. We got a couple minutes left, but yeah.
And you know what? I'm sorry I didn't get to any of the comments. I didn't want to cut them off, but there's a lot of comments on the Facebook thread. If you want to go through and read them, I'm not going to have time to read all of them. There's a lot on there. I wanted to really quick touch on that teddy bear thing, because I think this is cute.
Yes,
and I'm going
go ahead.
to teddy bear. I sent it to the IE News show thread. Anyways, the whole thing behind this teddy bear, and I was telling one of my little friends today that was talking to my son, because they missed each other, so we did like a little Facebook Messenger. So cute. Place a teddy bear in your window so the cars driving by can see it, and the kids can play like a little teddy bear hunt through your neighborhood. So pass this along to all your neighbors and let them know about that, because I think that's great. What?
I got a good one. Let's, as part of our contest, if maybe we'll get some of whoever sends in the best or top teddy bear or something of that, taking a picture of it, will get a Chili's gift card.
Okay, along with that needs to come a disclaimer, an email, and then a 24-hour notice. So maybe on Friday next week we will send in your best teddy bear picture, or whoever. Yeah,
well,
best
can't that
teddy
be
bear.
part of the contest? Can't we fold it in there?
Yeah, that fold needs to come with a disclaimer and an email.
Well, we'll do that. Work on that.
See how stuff gets done around here? Anyways, my point being, place a teddy bear in your window so all the little kids can go out driving and give the parents some sanity while they blast the music.
This is one good reason why you don't come up with tinfoil hats, because you wind up getting it.
Now I'm hitting myself
The
in the head.
residuals of this wind up, you get it weaponized against yourself for coming up with suggestions.
Place a teddy bear in your window. Send in a picture to iNewsWire or to me, because Roy never checks it. And best teddy bear maybe wins next Friday. And
maybe.
Stay tuned if anyone does it. Stay tuned for the Chili's gift card trivia next week. How wired are you with iNewsWire? Like we usually say,
we're gone.